My name is Tommy Springfield.
And I'm better than you!
And on this channel, I present you with the facts. I give you my opinion on those facts. And if you like how I do that, click that like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, click all, so you can get notifications every time I drop one of these videos. Maybe you've been here before, maybe you new.
Allow me to reintroduce myself.
I like to think of myself as a superhero, but you know the ghetto kind. Like Batman, I'm Batman. I live in the Bat Cave, I drive a Batmobile, and I promise you, I'm that nigga. This right here is ADAM22, and his platform is No Jumper. Who he's talking to? DJ Vlad. And his platform is called Vlad TV. And between these two platforms, they got more niggas killed and more niggas indicted than the KKK in 2025. They are the new KKK of 2025. They help get blacks indicted, they help get blacks killed, and they operate with immunity. And if you've been on the internet in the last 15, 20 years, you know Vlad TV. He is the biggest content creator in the hip-hop space. I give him his flowers. He does what he does. He is the man. But I believe they are, as Dame Dash would say, culture vultures. They're white. They're interviewing blacks. They love asking about crimes. And it is what it is. Yeah, you can say, well, they answer the questions. Yeah, but your platform is built on bringing blacks down. There's a lot of white gangsters and killers and a lot of white stories to tell, but y'all not telling them because y'all don't care about those stories. But enough of me talking right now. In this video, they're trying to get away from the LA Rico of Big U and Brick Baby and Loose Cannon when they are in the middle of it. They started it. Let's listen to them try to get away from it.
News that I probably should have started with is the fact that the Rollin 60 Rico came down on a lot of people that only a couple of people that we have relationships with, but you and I obviously both friends with Brick Baby. You did the first ever Big U interview, I do believe. That was a really, really big deal when it first happened. I guess I'll just start with this question, is that when you did that interview with Big U, were you completely under the impression that he was done with his street life and that he had changed his life? Because I definitely thought that at a certain point, and then at a certain point started to hear things that kind of led me to believe, in particular, Loose Cannon coming on here and talking about how he was basically the muscle for Big U, robbing weed dispensaries and strip clubs and whatnot, which ended up being in this indictment.
But what kind of shit are you saying that Big U does that he then stamps but doesn't actually do? You're talking about street shit?
Yeah, like street shit. So basically, say if I go do something in the hood, right? And he knows about it, he'll tell everybody in the hood.
Like it's him.
So, like it's him, but then they be calling me. It was like, cuz you just did this, and I'm like, cuz that's like some police shit. Because why would you be telling, if me and you is the only person that know what we did, it shouldn't even go between
Are you woke, Loose?
Of course.
Are you woke now?
Yeah.
You know why he's putting it out there, right?
Of course.
He got to get that credit from that 7 Street contract.
Of course. So at the end of the day, it's like, I realized, like, damn, it's 2023 and you got a BlackBerry. Like they didn't even.
How long have I been asking you about that BlackBerry?
Since 2015.
So that's the phone that he got?
Yeah, his name in the contract. 7th Street Division issued him a BlackBerry as a police issue phone to report all gang violence in his grid area. And this is an annual contract. If he doesn't produce, then they take it. He's been having a contract 10, 11 years. He did such a great job. He went from $550,000 a year. They gave him a $440,000 bonus. We send the contract. But listen, fuck all that.
Yeah. So basically, it's like, cause he'll be like, he'll manipulate things. Like, we'll go and do something, and the same niggas we do it to show up to the house like 10 minutes later when we trying to, counting everything, right? And we be like, how the fuck they get that? Oh, well, we're going to just give them like $40,000 back and stuff like that. But because it's actually putting us in paperwork, right? And like doing like real police shit. I seen the nigga get like 20 guns. And when he got 20 guns, he's selling them to the homies. But I'm like, why are you writing down the serial numbers? So it's like he was doing like shit like that. And I didn't catch on. So it was like, I'm waking up now. You get what I'm saying? Because
this
I'm
is
his,
high-tech shit.
I'm his right-hand man. You get what I'm saying? So when it came down to like dirt and stuff like that, I'm going to get it. You get what I'm saying? And then like one day.
You know why he wanted to get a dude back to 40, right? Because he was going to make dude give him 20 for getting it back.
Of course.
And kept you out of it.
Of course. He did that to, when I did that to Meek Mills and Rick Ross.
What'd you do to them?
So,
the club, when you sweated them in the club?
Yeah.
Dude, and Meek and Rick have no idea that Draw sent you at him.
Yeah. No, yeah, they sent that because I called Ross. I'm like, Ross,
boy, this shit getting crazy.
Drop off the 50,000 and we're going to let Meek live on Crips. So Ross dropped off the 50,000 and so me and the homies, we go back. He stopped answering the phone. He stopped picking up and shit like that. And we were like, what you doing? Like 2 days later, he called me. He was like, oh, nephew, where you at? And I'm like, nigga, where my money at? And he was like, oh, I needed it for bills. I needed it for... I'm like, what? Like, because that's some weird shit. And then he stopped answering the phone because I'm trying to pull up on him. Like, bro, you got to come and see me.
So what he said is important because everything is true. It's in the indictment. So, excuse me, him and Whack 100 brung Loose Cannon on there and let Loose Cannon rip and let him down a slippery slope, asking him questions.
But what kind of shit are you saying that Big U does that he then
shit.
Stamps but doesn't actually do? You're talking about street shit?
Yeah, they're like street shit. So.
And letting him slander Big U and give up indictable offenses. But now they're sitting here trying to distance themselves and act like they didn't know and act like they ain't have nothing to do with it. But it doesn't matter because niggas love going on these shows. Boosie will suck Vlad's dick. Tony Yayo will suck Vlad's dick. They don't give a fuck. They going on that show. They don't care how many niggas get indicted. They don't care how many niggas get locked up. Them two dudes are whores for Vlad's few dollars.
What was your impression doing that Big U interview, and how does the Rico make you feel looking at it?
I mean, I was sad because, I had heard, stories about Big U, but when I sat down with him, he seemed like a, older guy. He had kids. He was.
Yeah, that's Vlad, the Russian white guy who is, the biggest creator of hip hop content. You gotta give him his credit. He earned his spot, but he is a culture vulture. And you can't tell me these two channels ain't working with the police. Why? Because in this indictment, they talked to celebrities. They picked up Adrian Broner. They talked to other people who they keeping nameless celebrities that claim they were strong-armed by Big U. So you two interview Big U. You two got Loose Cannon confessing to these crimes. Am I supposed to believe the feds didn't come get y'all too? Bullshit. They came and got y'all. And if they ain't come and get y'all, it's because y'all already working. Y'all already got an open relationship with, hey, we'll shoot the content. Whatever you need, shoot me an email and I'll shoot you the content.
Focusing on football, focusing on legitimate businesses, focusing on, gang intervention and so forth. Since that time, me and him have, maintained our relationship. We talk a few times a year. I've never seen anything.
If you pay attention to any internet site, if you pay attention to your friends, ADAM22 no jumper platform, Big U ain't legit. Big U ain't never been legit. He's been accused of having something to do with Nipsey Hussle's murder. So when have Big U ever been known to be legit? See, this is what the white dudes do when the shit hits the fan. Now they don't want nothing to do with Big U. Now they don't know Brick Baby and Loose Cannon. They're trying to separate themselves. Not today.
Remotely illegal based on anything I've ever seen or any conversations we've had on or off camera. I was shocked. I was I was under the impression that anything was going on any level. And at the end of the day, he's still innocent until proven guilty. So, remember he made that video before he turned himself in.
It's going to probably be my last video. I'm going to go turn myself in to see what's going on. They talking about I'm a fugitive. So they just raided all my houses. 600 was actually with the police when they raided my house. And he's actually got video and footage of it. So y'all know what y'all dealing with. And I just want to say this to y'all. When they raided my houses and my property, they was asking about whack, loose cannon, 600, and this internet stuff. All of y'all filed. All y'all who be sending shit around the internet, all y'all who be promoting and listening to what these niggas saying, all y'all giving these likes and hidden likes, all y'all supporting this. All y'all guilty of this fuck shit. If you had something against a black man, you should handle it with a black man in the streets. Wack said 100 times he was gonna take my contracts. He working with the FBI. The FBI went to the city 3 days in a row and told the city they didn't want nobody to give me no more money. They went to all the different celebrities and told all the different celebrities, don't give me no money, don't help me, don't do nothing for me. They going around scaring and intimidating everybody. But y'all sitting it around getting people in trouble. Like y'all don't understand what the FBI do to black men who try to help their community. I ain't been nothing but a help to our community. But I guess it is what it is. This the price of being black and trying to help somebody, trying to help your community and do what you can. You just guilty because somebody else don't like you and they go on the internet and do what the fuck they want to and y'all gonna promote it. It's crazy. But I'm going to go turn myself in, though. Because I ain't did nothing.
It basically said, a bunch of this internet shit now got me caught up in this RICO, and, I got to turn myself.
Yeah, going on these shows, the No Jumper, the Vlad TVs, interviewing dudes, letting them slander people like Big U. This is what these shows do. And that's why I hate these shows. Like Vlad antagonizes the hip-hop community. Vlad antagonizes the black community. He'll talk about celebrities like Dame Dash, but he won't box Dame Dash. What he does is say, I got security. So, if you're going to talk shit about people, why say you have security? Just don't talk shit about people. Did you ever think about trying that?
It's fucked up. Brick Baby has become a regular guest on my show. I just saw him a few days ago at the Beverly Center.
Yeah.
Just randomly ran into him.
Wow.
Just randomly ran into him. Like last week. Like, oh shit, what's up? Went up, gave him a hug. He had some people with him. I was like, oh shit, what's up? I'm sure he had no idea what was about to happen in a couple of days. So I was fucked up over that too. The other people in the indictment, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's a federal RICO, right?
Yeah.
Which is ugly. This is just ugly. It's I don't. TMZ interviewed me earlier today.
How much money are you giving up? Are you giving up these guys some money? Are you putting money on their books? Y'all interviews are the reason why they're in prison. How much money are y'all putting on their books? Are y'all going to visit these dudes? Are y'all sending them nudies? Are y'all paying for lawyers? Nope. Y'all gonna go on to the next black dudes that y'all can interview and get indicted. That's why I hate Bootsy and Yayo. Don't y'all know y'all can go on the black person's platform and blow them up just as big as Vlad? And guess what? One day they will be able to pay you the same amount as Vlad, and I think they would be very grateful. But these new age Negroes don't do that type of shit.
About it. And man, I mean, I'm not Me and Big U are cool, and I've always maintained that. And you know, we've had multiple conversations about regular business shit. You know, if those conversations were recorded, no problem.
Right.
I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always been just regular, you know, straightforward conversations.
And that's how I feel when people are saying like, "Oh, ADAM22 is cooperating," or "ADAM22 is probably working with the feds," or whatever. It's like, I would gladly take every conversation that Brick Baby and I had ever had. Let's say he was wearing a wire, and that.
It doesn't matter if he's wearing a wire. He's not in prison for any of y'all personal conversation, you dumb fuck. Or maybe you not dumb, you just plain dumb. He's in prison for y'all interview talks, for the interviews on your platform. So good try with the, oh, you can, if they were being recorded on the wire, yeah, we're not talking about your personal conversation. We're talking about y'all on-air conversations. And like I said previously in this video, celebrities got picked up, boxers got picked up, basketball players got picked up in this indictment and interview. So we're supposed to believe you two, the content creators, didn't get picked up, especially Adam? Bullshit. And if y'all didn't get picked up, y'all got an open door relationship with the feds. We'll interview these guys, ask the questions. Y'all can even give us the questions. And hey, shoot us an email and we'll give you the content. Bullshit.
That audio can be released to the world. And sure, there might be a little bit of stuff that would be a little shocking to people. But for the most part, this guy never told me.
Oh, now it'll be a little bit of stuff that'll be a little bit of shocking. What, y'all sucking each other's dicks?
Where the bodies were hidden, if that, you know, to use a uncomfortable metaphor or anything. Like, most of these gangster dudes do not look at me or you as the shoulder to cry on about the worst things that they've ever done in their life, for the most part. That's just not really the kind of conversations that we're typically having with them, in particular, because if you tell Vlad that you killed somebody, Vlad's probably going to tell you that was a bad idea. If you tell Vlad you're thinking about killing somebody, he's probably going to say, like, listen, like, you sure you want to do that?
See, now they trying to make jokes because they want to distance themselves. They know the feds is on their videos. They know the feds is on their content. And they know it's clearly out in the open. They got some people indicted.
That's probably not a good idea. It's like, why would they've got plenty of homies that they could talk to this kind of thing through with. And I just, like, you know, people think that we're maybe a little bit more involved in some of these dudes' lives than we actually are.
I've never been a gang member.
Adam, you are involved. There's hundreds of videos you going to dudes' blocks. That's something you've been doing lately. You didn't start off doing that, and you've been bragging about it too. I'm in the hood. I'm on the block. I'm with Full Extra. I'm in this hood. I'm in that hood. So don't act like you're not involved in their lives. Y'all sound like two white dudes that's been warned. Y'all been told, hey, y'all been cutting it a little close. Y'all can get indicted too now. And now y'all trying to clear the air. But y'all not fooling me, Tommy Springfield, a.k.a. the King of Talk. I on y'all asses and I've been on y'all asses.
On any level, I never wanted to be a Blood or a Crip or anything else like that. I've always...
You just want to be all on niggas' nuts and steal our culture and get rich off our culture. That's what you want to do.
Kept these relationships business or just friendly. You know what I mean? Like, I used to always, you know, I like telling the story because me and Wack were beefing for like 10 years, right? Not beefing, acting like we're trying to get at each other, but I knew that me and Wack didn't like each other. We were both aware of this. I was aware that if I ran into him, that something might happen. So my security was always aware of this. You know what I'm saying? Right?
You see, he always refers back to his security. But like I said, he'll antagonize you. He'll talk shit about you. He'll call you a bum. He'll call you out your name and try to make you feel less than a man. But he won't put those gloves on. He's, oh, I got security. So why are you antagonizing the culture? Why are you antagonizing people in the culture? Go do that to the Russians. Go do that to the white folks. There's a lot of Russian gangsters. There's a lot of white gangsters that they could be interviewing. But it's profitable to be interviewing us niggas.
Very menacing looking security, just so you guys know.
But saying that, like, for example, I never went to Big U and said, hey, I got this problem with a street guy. Can you handle it for me?
Right.
I'm like, I'll handle it myself.
Right.
Because I know that if I go to a Big U or if I go to a Brick Baby or if I go to a Whack 100 or I go to anyone who has some sort of affiliation on some level, and now I want them to handle problems like that, then now that relationship changes.
You're wrapped up in some shit that is uncomfortable.
Yeah, that now it's not a straightforward relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I've always said,
we all know Adam is wrapped up in street shit because there's been a lot of fights up at his platform. A lot of people, there was a pastor who got beat up and stripped. Another thing in an indictment up at No Jumper. So No Jumper should be getting sued. They should be getting indicted too. That's what this is all about. I'm trying to distance myself from the shit. I don't want to go to prison.
I feel like that's where a lot of guys get in trouble, where they have that one friend and they have that friend handle a problem for them because they don't want to handle it themselves. And now you're somehow indebted to that guy. And you never know when they're going to pull out that card and say, okay, now I remember when I did that for you.
I had a little mini version of that where I got into a fight in probably 2017 or 2018. And there was an older.
With who? Who you got into a fight with? We don't believe you, Adam. You need more people.
Gangster that was there just happened to be around. And he said to me, like, right as the fight was getting broken up, he said, like, you want me to whoop this fool's ass? And I was like, do whatever. I might have just said, like, sure. And he punched the fool in the face right there and then. Immediately, it became clear to me that this guy felt like there was now a debt that had to be repaid. Really? But he wasn't looking for, like, a financial thing or whatever. And we met.
See, now they so scared. They telling about other crimes. You know, usually both of their platforms is about interviewing some dudes in the hood. But now you have two white dudes telling about all the things they did around other black dudes now. Yeah, the feds went and seen these dudes. Yeah, they scared. This done scared them up.
We ended up making it cool by, like, me helping one of his artists out with doing a little bit of content or whatever like that. But I realized, and I'm glad that I got like a small taste of why that's a situation that you want to avoid. Yeah. Because once you have that hanging over your head, I mean, these are guys who don't really play by the rules. And you've officially, you know, granted, could I have gone to the cops or the feds or whatever and explained that situation? And would they have basically probably done something about it? I mean, shit, maybe. But I realized then and there that, like,
yeah, you know you can go to the cops or the feds and they would have did something about it because you done did that already before. You working for them, fool.
I have no reason as a non-gangster to be going to any kind of gangster, even if they just happen to be around and asking for favors, because you don't really want to owe favors to people who operate outside of the law.
Well, yeah, I mean, part of the indictment, and I have no idea whether it's true or not, but what the feds are alleging was that, you know, they're saying that NBA players are playing Big U, like, you know,
hundreds of thousands,
check-in money, and then there was a whole thing about Adrian Broner robbing some dudes at a dice game.
And Shaq allegedly moved out of LA, at least in part because he was sick of dealing with gangster bullshit, which I think when he said that back in the day, people were a little confused.
See, I told you now they naming Shaq, they naming Adrian Broner, they telling everything they know out in the open on the platform. They ain't got no niggas around. Where all the niggas? Both of these dudes, every time you see them, they got a nigga in front of them. Where all the niggas at? But y'all think they ain't working with the feds. Yeah, they confessing. They telling everything they know and heard. They getting it all out now. And niggas still gonna run to their platform?
Confused, like, why would Shaq in any way be beholden to gangster interests? now you kind of see what that might look like.
I don't know whether any of that is true, honestly, but it's sort of like if I was an NBA player, I'd be damned if I'd be paying anybody protection money in LA. Like, that doesn't make any goddamn sense.
No,
like,
but what if they have something on you? What if they have?
They don't gotta have nothing on you. They can get protection money from both of y'all too, but y'all gonna call the police. Dudes in the hood ain't gonna call police, and dudes in the hood ain't scared of other black folks' security. They scared of y'all white folks' security, but they ain't scared of other black folks' security. So it's a difference, you know what I'm saying? So don't think, oh, I wouldn't pay anybody. Yeah, you would. You walk around with the police. It's a difference, bruh.
I don't know, some kind of involvement, something you did that basically makes it so you can't go to the cops, or you having a wall of security around you when you're out and about isn't necessarily going to do the trick. I feel like, these guys are shiesty. They figure out how they can actually get to you, and they're willing to.
You hear them? These guys are shiesty. Like, you ain't part of them guys. Like, you ain't been hanging with them guys. Like, you ain't been interviewing these guys. These guys are shiesty.
Do whatever they got to do to be able to make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, there's the Vanilla Ice story.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Where, and I went into detail with him when I first interviewed him. He said Suge would just pop up.
Look, now Vlad talking about when Suge did this and that. I'm telling you, they working for the feds. I'm telling you.
He was like in L.A. Benihana. He would sit down at his table, start eating his food, like literally. And then like one day he went back to his hotel room, and Suge and a bunch of his guys were in the hotel room. And I think like Suge like grabbed the gun from a security and like smacked him or something. And it was just like, okay, this is the type of shit that was being done back in the day. I just don't think you can really get away with that kind of stuff these days, because there's so many cameras. And at the point that and here's the thing, and it doesn't always work. Like I remember, there's a story about when Death Row was first coming together. They were at Solar Record Studios. They were working out of there. And, Harry O was the alleged financer of Death Row. So there was a phone, like an actual like corded phone in the studio that was only to be used for when Harry O called from prison. So no one else was allowed to use this phone because it was a very important phone, in the studio. And these two producers were on the phone. And I guess they're like, yo, man, Suge gonna get mad. He'd be like, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna go finish my phone call. Suge, I guess, pistol whipped him and stripped him and said, you guys better not call the police.
Now, you see, like I've been seeing the whole video, they done talked about all the black people they know. He just told the story that Suge ain't been to jail for that yet. Nobody went to jail for that crime yet. And he just told the story, Suge. Yes, we all heard the story. I heard the story. I seen videos about the story. But the point, if y'all think these boys ain't working with the feds, y'all are fool. All y'all black folks that keep loving and going on these shows, it's cool. And watch, Tony Yayo keep running his mouth, 50 Cent next. Watch what I tell you.
They went outside and called the police.
Yeah.
And then if you think about it, that arrest, them pressing charges got Suge arrested and put on probation, which he violated when he kicked Orlando Anderson during the Tupac MGM brawl.
Right.
You see?
So obviously,
like I said, they talk about all black people stuff. They just sat there after people got federal indictments for being on their shows and talked about more crimes. But the black community love going on there. Bootsy clown ass, tap dancing ass, love going on there. Tony Yayo can't make $1 without 50 Cent, and this is his own lane to make $1 without 50 Cent. Keep running his ass up there. I'ma feel bad, because 50 my favorite celebrity, but when they get that indictment on 50 Cent, I'ma feel bad, because these dudes is working with the feds. The feds got a straight line. Every interview, they go pick up their headphones and turn on their screen. They got a straight line to Vlad TV and no jumper. like I always say, man, I present you with the facts. I give you my opinion on those facts. If you like how I do that, please click that like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, click all so you can get notifications every time I do one of these videos. And if you're a supporter of the channel, much love and respect goes out to you and salute. And if you're one of these haters out here and you support No Jumper and Vlad TV and these culture vulture type of channels, cut the shit. That part.